Committee on Government Operation, Public Safety, and Public Services will come to order.
All right, this is the Committee on Government Operations, Public Safety, and Public Service. This is Monday, April 7, 2014. We're at 6 p.m. I got Council McKinnon.
Here.
I got Council Delashola.
Here.
I got Council Sani.
Here.
I got Council Simonelli.
Here.
We have 4 members present. We
Thank
don't
you.
have a
Please
quorum.
stand and salute the flag. Before we start, I have one regret. Councilman Sal Sacchetta is not feeling well. Hopefully, Sal, you're feeling well at home. Get better, please. Please read the first item.
The first piece of business, this is a resolution up by Council John McKinnon that the company that is changing the water meters provide a statement of what homeowners and businesses are signing but cannot get a copy of.
Could we have Mr. J. Marcotte come up before us, please? If from the bench, I'll be speaking, if that's okay.
Fine. Hey,
How are you tonight, sir?
Good, how are you doing?
Good.
Jay Marcotte, City Services. I want to say it was 2 meetings ago we had the discussion with having residents that requested a copy of the new meter and the calibrations and all that, or not the calibrations, but the figures to match and for them to sign off on. And we have been giving copies to those that have been requesting that. I want to say we've had a handful of requests for it. And as you know, they can call the water department. That's what we're telling them. With every time we go to their establishment, we tell them, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, please call the water department. And it's been very, very seldom.
Okay. So there's not been that many that wanted these signed things that they've been signing?
In the beginning, we had a lot of questions, and obviously it was a new thing, new change, what's going on type questions, but we're pretty much almost a year into it. People talk to their friends, neighbors, everyone knows what's going on, it seems like.
Okay. And let me see. So is there a number, an actual number that they could call? If
It's
they
the water department's number. That's
The water
Yep,
department?
the water department, and we will delegate accordingly.
Can you just state that number for the public?
Do you have the water department's number?
Could you just state your name, sir, so we have it for
Sure,
record?
I'm Peter Barozzi, project manager.
Thank you.
You have the city services water department number? Where is it on here?
I have my number.
Do you want them to call you?
Yeah, I mean, they can, you talking about customers calling?
Yeah,
someone?
it's just
Yeah.
a
Okay,
general
yes,
number.
They
It's
can
being
absolutely
taped
call
right
me,
now.
yeah.
Could you
Give your
just
number.
state the number and your
Sure,
name?
it's 617
617
590
590
0201.
0201. Thank you. And your name?
Peter Barozzi?
Peter Perozzi?
Yeah,
Okay. So if there was
Project
the
project
anyone-
manager, yeah.
And if there was anybody that was to contact you, they could get a signed copy of what they're signing
Yeah,
at the home?
absolutely.
Okay. So that's the number that they should call.
Okay.
Okay. Any other?
And if there's any other comments, questions, they can call us, the city service department, which would be 617-394-5044.
Thank you. Councilman Simonelli?
thank you, Mr. Chairman, through you to Jay or Peter. This is what I'm trying to get at later. And not at this meeting, but the idea is, do the people really know that they're getting a water meter plus this radio frequency device, which activates that water meter?
Several of the mailers that have gone out does include the description of a radio transmitter being attached to the meter, yes.
And where is that written?
I have copies of the letters if I can. I don't have that with me right now, but I can provide it to the members of the council if they so wish.
I just don't think the public out there really know what they're getting. They're getting a water meter, but as far as this RFD, say radio frequency device, I don't think they're knowing what that is or what it's doing.
In the notice letter, it tells them, what the city is planning to implement and the smart meter itself and what entails a smart meter, which is the radio read.
Right, but I mean, there's two different things. There's people may be just thinking out there they're just getting a water meter, but they don't know what
No,
this-
it describes a smart meter and the radio
Yeah, it
read
says
that's going to
that,
be.
but most of the people, general public, don't know that this radio frequency device, which activates that. That's how it works, through this device, right? Okay, but I
Well-
think that should have been known to people, but I get something later on, about those RFDs, but that's not the subject here tonight, but I appreciate you answering my questions. Thank you.
Councilman Delasola?
Quick question, when do you think this will all be complete?
I'll answer. We're shooting for July 1. We're about 85, 86% complete. 86% complete. We're looking, talking to other communities that have implemented such a program. The last 5% is pretty much the hardest because they're the ones that are the most difficult to contact. And after several opportunities for us to reach out to them, we have to think outside the box and trying to contact them to implement the meter.
Okay.
So we're hoping for July 1, but we're diligently working on it.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll excuse with customary thanks, and thank you both for appearing tonight. I'm going to refer this piece back to sponsor.
A motion to refer back to sponsor.
Motion made and seconded to refer this item back to sponsor. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. You have done so. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please read item number 2.
Item number 2. This is a resolution offered by Council Peter Napolitano that the Everett Police increase patrols around the School Street Municipal Parking Lot on the weekend evenings due to noise complaints from neighboring residents.
Could we please have the chief before us, please?
Can we also invite the
And
sponsor?
also the sponsor.
Good evening.
Evening, chief. Evening, Mr. Napolitano. How are you?
For yourself?
Good. Do we have questions on this, or would you like to start?
All right, this actually came about from a series of phone calls I got from residents from Sacro Plaza. Going back in, we're talking around January, February, just the residents there were starting to notice that on Fridays and Saturday evenings, they were experiencing a lot of additional loud noise that they weren't anticipating. Usually around midnight, as people were leaving either the restaurants or the other night spots, so to speak, in Everett Square. So they just, and their concerns were the fact that in the wintertime, they're hearing the music, loud music and voices coming through their building. And their concern is in the summertime when they've got the doors open, they got the screens up, windows open and screens, that it's just going to be even worse. I did have an opportunity to speak to the owners of Plaza Grill, and I can't think of the name of the other club that used to be on, that's now on the corner of Brigham's. And they feel that they have made an effort to try to educate their customers about the neighborhood. But again, once someone leaves the facility and they're in the municipal parking lot, they've got a very limited control over that. So what we're looking to do is just looking to see if we can't get some additional patrol after hours or in the later evenings, just to ensure that the patrons of those establishments realize that after a certain time when you leave, it's time to move on. We're not trying to discourage business in the square, but the business owners down there feel that they can't control it 100% by themselves, and the residents just feel that something should be done. So I was hoping that we might be able to reach out to the chief and see if we can come up with a solution that will work for everybody in the square.
Thank you. Chief?
Good evening, Counselor. We're aware of the situation. We try to be down there. We have it set up now that as the night goes on and we reach the closing hours, our officers are on a directed patrol down there. I do know they're down there regularly. I've talked to some of the business people about it. We've talked to people in Sacro Plaza. We know that peace does get disturbed at various points throughout the year, whether it's winter, spring, summer. I wish I could sit here and tell you we can stop all noise across the board all seasons. I'm trying to be realistic. You have a number of places that are closing. A lot of it's routine, what I call routine traffic noise when you have large amounts of people leave. The feedback from the officers on the street has been lately that it's not really above and beyond, like a car parked there for a half hour with the music blaring. It's more people leaving, some want to chat. They try to get them to move along and
go on their way. You know, it's that time of year right now. We're actually trying to identify areas that we know are commonly come up as complaints of this nature, and we're trying to address them early on by not only the business people have been very receptive and helpful, but it's true. Once they leave, patrons leave, they really don't have any control over them. So we try to just talk to people and make them understand, you know, there's elderly folks that live nearby and you might be disturbing them. So we're down there, we're committed to it. We will do our best to make it a good quality of life, considering it's a downtown area.
Councilwoman Sani?
Thank you. I know last year and prior years, we had also some neighbors complaining in the parking lot and the
Yep.
noise too going into our home. And I thought they were gonna have police detail more so in that area to keep the music down and under, you know, I thought that was already in effect.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's what we call a directed patrol. So at that point, we have our overlapping shift. We have ample amount of officers in the area. They're usually there as the night goes on. They're usually there. There's usually an officer assigned down there, but there's usually multiple officers will go there as the 1 o'clock closing hour approaches. And for that purpose, they'll stagger throughout the area of the parking lots and, you know, try to make for as quiet of a release as we can get.
What about the sound barrier too that they have? I know we made, or another business, Sonia Plaza has now, that with the music being so loud, they have now that they use to.
Internally?
Yeah, that they use to make sure the music's down so it doesn't affect the neighbors outside.
Yeah,
Is that-
I don't, the noise that that's been brought to my attention, it's not the kind of noise that we'd be able to, if you're talking like on a decibel meter,
Yeah.
it's not that level. It's the problems I've been hearing from most of the people is more when people get out, they chat. I mean, if it's large numbers, they're chatting in groups. Could be 8, 9, 10 people chatting. They might start up a car, multiple cars. And then if a car, you know, someone peels out or something like that leaving, depending on, at 1 o'clock in the morning, and there's nothing else going on, it makes noise.
Do they have security guards themselves,
Some of the places have their own security. The Braza Grill in, I think it's a Tres Gatos, was on the corner. I don't know if it's still Tres Gatos, the other place. I don't think, yeah. No, Braza Grill, which is a bigger location, they have their own people, and they also hire a detail, police detail sometimes. So depending on the night of the week and how busy the crowd is. But we haven't had a lot of problems in there, per se, especially in the last year. And then when they leave, it's just, I mean, it's a challenge. It's a challenge that, I mean, you wish everyone would walk out quietly, not say 2 words, get in a car and drive away peacefully, but that's unrealistic. And I think if we keep enough presence down there and show that we're gonna be here, we want you to leave as quietly as possible, they'll get into a routine. But I don't think, you know, we'll probably never satisfy all the people that abut the area. I mean, that's just, as much as I'd like to, I don't see it happening.
Councilman Simonelli?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you to Chief Macy. I know the pain you're going through, both of you, as far as the people down there, and just to refer, it's like in my neighborhood, and mostly everybody else's neighborhood, this is like open season for party time, you know, and they come to your house and they party. They seem like, a lot of them just don't have no respect, and they keep partying. You guys keep coming back and forth, similar to what's going on down there. I just want to refer that as just another example of what's going on, what you guys got to deal with, so.
Oh, so, I mean, you know, when you get into the warmer months, I mean, we have no problem with, you know, we're gonna start getting into, you know, with younger kids, you get prom season, you get graduations from high school, you get graduations from college. I mean, I'm guilty. I graduated high school, I graduated college, I went to some parties. When I was young, I liked to have a good time.
Yeah.
But if it's a home that's a repeat problem house,
That's what I'm talking about.
yeah, I mean, those are the ones we're trying to put the kibosh on and get them to conform in the neighborhood. You know, it's usually that one house in the neighborhood that's problematic
Right,
on our business. But I have to be honest, I mean, most of the, you know, unfortunately, the businesses that are accused of making noise, yeah, they're the ones that are usually some kind of entertainment. There's music, there's patrons, and it's usually at closing time. The bigger problem I think we've experienced over the last few years with smoking now, you can't smoke in these places, so the doors are open and closing much more than they used to, and you have bunches of people going in and out because they want to smoke outside, which has actually led to more problems, to be honest with you. I mean, it's great that the place is smoke-free, but it's contributed to these noise complaints.
That was great, but once again, it's the season for it, there'll be,
Yeah.
like, you know, the problem spots, and I get a few calls, people, they can't sleep all night long, and it happens all the time.
Sure.
We all feel bad for them, and the same with the owners, with the people down by the
Yep.
square. Okay, thank you very much.
You got
Council
it.
Del Sol?
Chief, I'm just wondering, how many people are out there at night? Do you know, like, at 12?
Patrons, or-
At midnight or 1 o'clock? How many people are actually out at the parking lot when this all occurs?
I don't
Is
have
it only a handful?
I don't have an exact number.
Has anybody been there, like, at midnight and see them coming out?
Well,
It varies,
Yeah.
if I could, Chief?
yeah, please.
Yeah, it varies, and it's not music, it's not loudness that's coming from the establishment itself. It's exactly what the chief explained. It's people that come out, they'll jump in the cars, they'll blare the music. By the time a resident can make a call and a complaint and a unit be freed up to come down, they've gotten the car and they've gone on to the next place, they're
Right,
going to
right.
party. So, it's not something that can really be tracked. But I think that what the chief suggests, the directed patrols, so you never really know when a cruiser is going to be coming through the parking lot. I think that goes a long way in moving people along. Because it's short spurts, but it's the degree of the music. So when they crank the radio up,
Right.
it's loud enough, especially if they've got one of these enhanced sound systems in
Yeah.
these guys, you can hear it right through the building. And
Right.
It's probably the biggest issue that we're hearing from the residents down there.
Yeah, what also happens, so if there's a beat officer down there, which it usually is, if there's one officer down there, and they could be walking on the lower end of Norwood, or could be up Broadway a little bit, up towards this area, City Hall. I mean, if there's a few patrons that are coming out early, like say at 11:30, 12 o'clock, that are, disturbing some people, they might not necessarily pick up on it. We really try to saturate the area as we go down to that 1 o'clock hour. So, 12:45 to 1 o'clock, we're sending multiple units. And, I'll speak to the captain, to Captain Basteri, to reinforce it, but we've already been discussing it even before this became on the agenda, trying to hit those kind of places that we know disturb people. So we're trying to do the best we can early on.
Is that the only area we have the problem with that you know of?
No, I mean, like,
When it comes to a
I'll be
restaurant or a bar?
I'll be honest with you, most of the barroom types are the ones that draw these kind of complaints. Noise, sometimes it's, dropping litter, cars, starting the cars up, music, chatting around the cars.
Right.
It's common, but it's around those type of establishments.
Okay.
And it is short-lived, like he said, it's short-lived. A lot of times if they do call, for example, if there is a beat cop prior to that 1 o'clock time frame, if they call, usually if the guy, the officer walks down there, by the time they walk down there, the people have gotten in the car.
They're gone.
They're
Yeah.
gone. It's only a matter of minutes usually.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I just had a quick question from the chair. It's coming on the season, the spring and summer, hot months. The plan would be what, to beef up more patrols in the problematic areas, chief?
Well, during this, different times of the year, we focus our resources on different problems and issues. We know this time of year, noise complaints will start picking up. I'll be honest with you, one of the biggest complaints I'll start getting with the warm weather is from churches. Churches start becoming a problem for me in the warmer months as they open up windows and it's, they're usually celebrating and it's music and noise but it disturbs people.
Yeah.
Whether it's someone just trying to watch a Red Sox game in their backyard or whatever, it is what it is. But so we know, we try to gear up for that. We'll actually go out and try to talk to some of the problem places or repeat places and say, please try to respect your neighbors and work it out. And we'll get some, but as the season goes on and it gets cold out again, the windows start closing up and we don't get those complaints. But we commonly will direct our resources, to these locations. And that's this time of year. We'll start hitting more of the parks. We'll start hitting these places. But we're trying to keep a good presence. The nice thing is as our recruits come out of the police academy, which they slowly have been this year, and we have a bunch, another big bunch coming out in June, we're going to be able to disperse some good resources this summer on the streets. So I'm excited about that, and I think the people in the community are gonna benefit greatly.
Yeah, so the parks, the squares, both
We'll
squares.
get some good coverage.
Okay. Councilman Simonelli?
Yes, again, through you,
Yeah.
Chairman, to Chief Mason. I think this is very good here, this police lieutenant liaison program. You got every ward, which is, I'm just reading it now, it says, and every ward has a lieutenant and with a number on it. Was this gonna be on the ECTV?
Correct, yes.
'Cause that's very important now. Every ward will have a lieutenant that you can contact personally.
Yeah, what we
That's
really
great.
like to do, I'm glad you brought this up. I wanted to just speak briefly, if I could, on it.
Yeah.
We rolled this out a couple years ago. We're trying to do a little better job of marketing on it. I basically want people to know that, each shift is staffed by a lieutenant. So we have 2 day platoons, 2 eve platoons, and 2 overnight platoons. These 6 gentlemen represent those 6 platoons. They're the officer in charge of everything that's going on in the community. And what we're trying to do is attach granted they're responsible for everything that's going on, but we're trying to give people a venue or a means to communicate with someone who can help with quality of life issues.
Very helpful.
So, for example, in Ward 1 people, and we really want to market this towards the elected officials as well. For the quality of life stuff, an email to Lieutenant Hamilton on Ward 1 stuff, he's the guy that can really direct resources and address
That's a great
what's
idea.
going on, because he's the one that's going to be there. Like, for example, he is assigned to the overnight shift. So he's out there from 9 at night to 7 in the
which you
morning.
want.
You have Lieutenant Gabriel, who's assigned to Ward 2. He's currently one of the day shift commanders. You have Lieutenant Cristiano, Ward 3, who's also a day shift commander. You have Lieutenant Antonicola, who's assigned to an overnight shift in Ward 4. He's currently recovering from an injury, but should be back shortly. You have Lieutenant Landry on the evening shift, assigned to Ward 5, and Lieutenant O'Malley assigned to Ward 6. They're all very competent people. They're all very well aware of the problems that exist. But again, I'm trying to get people to know who they are. And they are the people that can direct the resources on any given day and night to address, especially the lower, the quality of life issues. But if it's not an emergency, a 911 issue, you can have a chat via, an email and try to handle it.
Great, it's just a great program. Very good, thank you. for
Yeah,
breaking
we're gonna post this, it went out on our website, out in social media. Cable TV is gonna be posting it as well.
Good.
So
And
we
get
have all the
The
updated.
awards now, we get the numbers, and people
Yep.
can call, they can call me, call our counselors.
I would encourage as much as possible for the viewing public as well. Email is really the way to go, and the reason I say that is, if you call the business line, 389-2120, 24 hours a day, that's where these guys work out of. But keep in mind, they're on a schedule,
Yeah.
so they're on days off at times, so you might not get the right lieutenant at the right time.
Social media.
You got it.
All right, great, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Councilman Napolitano, what's your pleasure?
I'm fine with your motion to send it back to sponsor. My main goal is to determine what the police are doing, and they are obviously gearing up for this time of year and these type of events. And I'm also want to make sure that the residents are aware that they're working on this. So if there's a beat cop, if there's an issue going down, that they should call the station, and at least someone can be dispatched. Now, they may not get, person may already come and go, but at least our residents will know they have.
At least we have it on record too. I
reports.
mean, it's nice to have it on record so we can kind of look at our calls for service and see, how we're doing. If it's, obviously the more calls we're gonna get, that indicates there's something going on. But yes.
I'll make a motion
Councilwoman
for
Song.
back to sponsor.
Motion made and seconded to refer this item back to sponsor. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you, gentlemen, for
Thank
appearing
you.
tonight.
Thank you, councilors.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. You have done so.